What's happening, gentlemen? Dr. James Whittaker here, and today we're addressing something deeply personal but absolutely crucial for your health and vitality. Recently, a 72-year-old patient shared something that many men feel but rarely voice. I've been doing things the same way for 50 years, but lately something just feels wrong. He wasn't sick, hadn't started new medications, and appeared healthy by all standard measures. What he didn't realize was that certain long-practiced habits were now silently working against his sexual health, circulation, and overall well-being. What if the changes you're noticing, reduced sensation, weaker performance, or feelings of disconnection, aren't just about getting older? What if they're linked to common mistakes that are silently harming your circulation, prostate health, and ability to experience pleasure? It's not the act of self-pleasure itself that's problematic. It's how it's being practiced that can cause significant damage over time. Today, I'm revealing 7 critical mistakes that many men over 60 make, and more importantly, how to correct them to restore your vitality and protect your long-term sexual health. I've spent over 2 decades helping men optimize their sexual health naturally, and these 7 mistakes consistently appear in my practice. The good news is that once you understand what you're doing wrong, the corrections are straightforward and the benefits can be profound. Mistake number 1, excessive pornography consumption. For decades, occasional pornography use might have seemed harmless, but after 60, your brain's reward system faces significant challenges. The dopamine pathways that control pleasure and motivation aren't as resilient as they once were, making them more vulnerable to overstimulation and dysfunction. High-speed, high-intensity internet pornography floods your brain with far more stimulation than it was designed to handle naturally. This artificial hyperstimulation creates neurochemical chaos that fundamentally alters how your brain processes pleasure and arousal. When this overstimulation happens repeatedly over months and years, your brain adapts in the worst possible way. It becomes desensitized to normal levels of stimulation. Your dopamine receptors literally downregulate, requiring increasingly extreme content just to feel anything at all. This neurological adaptation means that natural intimacy, the touch of a partner, your own physical sensations, even your imagination, begins to fade into insignificance. It's like listening to music at maximum volume for years until you can no longer appreciate the subtle beauty of a quiet melody. Before we continue exploring these critical mistakes, if this information is already helping you understand your sexual health better, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I share evidence-based men's health content every week that could transform your understanding of optimal male vitality. The consequences extend beyond just sexual response. Excessive pornography use has been linked to depression, anxiety, relationship problems, and a general inability to find satisfaction in real-world experiences. For men over 60, these effects can be particularly devastating to overall quality of life. The solution requires retraining your brain to appreciate natural stimulation. Begin focusing exclusively on your own physical sensations and imagination during self-pleasure. If you have a partner, concentrate on their actual touch and presence rather than artificial visual stimuli. This recalibration process takes time, typically several weeks to months, but it's essential for reawakening the sensitivity and natural pleasure response that pornography has suppressed. Think of it as detoxing your brain's pleasure centers and allowing them to function as nature intended. Mistake number 2, poor positioning and environment. The second critical mistake involves location and positioning during self-pleasure. For privacy and convenience, many men default to using the bathroom, particularly while sitting on the toilet. This seemingly innocent habit can cause significant damage over time. Consider the biomechanics of this position. You're hunched forward, compressing your entire pelvic region, which restricts critical blood flow to the nerves and tissues essential for sexual function. This posture puts sustained pressure directly on your prostate while creating tension throughout your pelvic floor muscles. After 60, protecting circulation becomes paramount for maintaining sexual health. Healthy blood flow is the foundation of firm erections, optimal prostate function, and your body's ability to recover after climax. By consistently compressing this vital area, you're literally starving it of the oxygen and nutrients needed for proper function. The hunched posture also compresses major blood vessels and can contribute to pelvic floor dysfunction over time. This positioning can lead to chronic tension patterns that affect urinary control, erectile function, and prostate health. The solution is straightforward but crucial. Change your environment and positioning. Stand in the shower where you can maintain good posture, or lie down in a comfortable, relaxed position. Give your pelvic area the space it needs for optimal blood circulation. Your prostate and pelvic floor muscles will function much better when they're not constantly compressed. This simple change can significantly improve blood flow and reduce the chronic tension that accumulates from poor positioning over years of practice. Mistake number 3, rushing the process. In our busy, goal-oriented culture, it's easy to treat self-pleasure as just another task to complete quickly. But when you rush this intimate process, you're putting your nervous system into a state of stress rather than the relaxation necessary for optimal sexual health. Rushing elevates your heart rate unnecessarily, creates shallow breathing patterns, and triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol. While you might still reach climax, you completely miss the profound hormonal and cardiovascular benefits that come from a relaxed, mindful approach. The restorative hormones that reduce stress, improve mood, and promote overall well-being, including oxytocin, prolactin, and endorphins, are barely released when you're in a stressed, hurried state. These hormones are crucial for the health benefits that sexual activity can provide. After 60, your body doesn't respond well to pressure, whether physical or psychological. Your nervous system needs time to properly engage the parasympathetic response that creates true relaxation and optimal hormone release. Let me know in the comments below. Have you noticed that slowing down during intimate moments improves your overall satisfaction and well-being? This connection between mindfulness and sexual health is something many men discover later in life. The solution is practicing mindfulness during self-pleasure. Slow down deliberately, breathe deeply and consciously, and pay attention to physical sensations without judgment or urgency. Make each moment intentional rather than goal-focused. When you approach self-pleasure mindfully, you transform it from a mechanical release into a restorative experience that benefits your cardiovascular system, nervous system, and overall mental health. This shift in approach can dramatically improve both the experience and the health benefits. Mistake number 4, ignoring your pelvic floor. The majority of men have never heard of their pelvic floor muscles, yet this muscle group is vital for male sexual health, especially after 60. These muscles form a supportive hammock at the base of your pelvis, supporting your bladder, prostate, and sexual organs. Your pelvic floor is the hidden engine that powers erection firmness, ejaculatory control, and urinary function. When these muscles are weak, neglected, or uncoordinated, every aspect of sexual and urinary health begins to suffer. You might experience urinary leakage, weaker erections, reduced sensation during climax, or difficulty controlling ejaculation timing. Through decades of sitting and lack of specific engagement, these crucial muscles often become dormant and dysfunctional. The pelvic floor muscles also play a crucial role in the blood-trapping mechanism that maintains erections. When they're strong and well-coordinated, they help compress the veins that drain blood from the penis, maintaining firmness and rigidity. The solution is learning to consciously engage your pelvic floor during self-pleasure. During arousal, gently contract the same muscles you would use to stop urination midstream. This isn't about forceful clenching. It's about mindful, gentle engagement. Start with brief, gentle contractions and gradually build strength and endurance over time. This practice develops both awareness and muscular control, restoring a foundation of sexual function that many men thought was permanently lost to aging. Regular pelvic floor engagement during self-pleasure serves as both exercise and functional training, helping these muscles remain strong and responsive for all aspects of sexual and urinary health. Mistake number 5, wrong frequency patterns. This is a topic many men over 60 hesitate to discuss, but frequency patterns can significantly impact your sexual health. Some men worry they're engaging in self-pleasure too often, while others wonder if they've waited too long between sessions. Both extremes can cause harm to your sexual health and overall well-being. When you engage too frequently, often out of habit, boredom, or unresolved emotions rather than genuine desire, Your body doesn't have adequate time to recover. Excessive frequency can overtax your nervous system, potentially irritate prostate tissue, deplete energy levels, and reduce the sensitivity and satisfaction of the experience. Your body needs time to restore neurotransmitters and hormone levels between sessions. On the opposite extreme, going too long without sexual activity risks what's medically known as use it or lose it atrophy. Your body needs regular circulation to sexual organs to maintain healthy tissue, nerve function, and hormonal balance. Sexual arousal, even without orgasm, helps maintain crucial blood flow to genital tissues, nourishes nerve endings, and keeps erectile mechanisms functioning optimally. Complete abstinence can lead to tissue changes and functional decline. The solution isn't a magic number that works for everyone, but rather finding your individual point of balance. For most men over 60, once or twice per week, practiced with mindfulness and care, represents a healthy equilibrium. This frequency allows you to maintain circulation, hormonal rhythm, and tissue health without causing nervous system exhaustion or depletion. Listen to your body's signals. It will tell you what feels energizing versus what feels depleting. Mistake number 6, excessive force and aggression. This is one of the most overlooked but potentially damaging errors. As sensation naturally changes with age, the instinct is often to compensate with more force, tighter grip, or more aggressive stimulation. The thinking is logical but wrong. If I apply more pressure, I'll feel more. The reality is exactly the opposite. The nerves in penile tissue are incredibly delicate, and years of aggressive stimulation can cause real, lasting physical damage. This includes microscopic tissue tears, loss of elasticity, internal scarring, and even structural changes that can lead to curvature and pain. This type of trauma is particularly insidious because it doesn't happen overnight. The damage accumulates slowly over months and years, and by the time you notice significant changes, substantial harm may have already occurred. Aggressive stimulation can also desensitize nerve endings, creating a vicious cycle where you need increasingly intense stimulation to feel anything at all. This desensitization can eventually affect your ability to respond to a partner's touch, or even your own gentler stimulation. The solution requires being much kinder to your body and understanding that force destroys sensation rather than enhancing it. Use high-quality lubrication to reduce friction and prevent tissue damage. Explore lighter touch, different types of stimulation, and various techniques rather than simply increasing intensity. Focus on the quality of sensation rather than the quantity of stimulation. Your future sexual health and capacity for pleasure depend on treating your body with care and respect rather than trying to force responses that may no longer come naturally. Mistake number 7, emotional disconnection. Our final mistake goes beyond the physical into the psychological and emotional realm. Over time, many men begin to view self-pleasure as purely mechanical, a routine release devoid of any real meaning, connection, or emotional engagement. This emotional disconnection transforms what could be a positive, health-promoting experience into a hollow, unsatisfying habit. When practiced without feeling or intention, self-pleasure can actually train your nervous system to expect pleasure without purpose or connection. You might reach physical climax, but your brain and body don't release the same restorative hormones and neurotransmitters that come from truly connected, meaningful sexual experiences. Instead of feeling satisfied and energized, you often feel empty, drained, or even guilty. This pattern can reinforce feelings of loneliness and disconnection, creating a negative cycle where self-pleasure becomes an escape from emotions rather than a healthy expression of sexuality and self-care. The solution is practicing emotional reconnection during self-pleasure. Even solo sexual activity can be sacred, mindful, and affirming when approached with the right mindset and intention. View these moments as opportunities to reconnect with your body, not with shame or guilt, but with gratitude and acceptance. Practice being present with yourself, appreciating your body's capacity for pleasure, and honoring your sexuality as a positive aspect of your humanity. All 7 of these mistakes share one fundamental problem: a loss of connection. This is the real threat to male sexual health after 60, Not age itself, not declining desire, but the gradual erosion of connection with your own body, pleasure, and vitality. When you consume excessive pornography, you disconnect from natural stimulation. Poor positioning disconnects you from healthy circulation. Rushing disconnects you from the restorative benefits. Ignoring your pelvic floor disconnects you from muscular control. Wrong frequency patterns disconnect you from your body's natural rhythms. Excessive force disconnects you from gentle, sustainable pleasure. Emotional disconnection separates you from the meaning and satisfaction that makes sexual experiences truly fulfilling. But here's the encouraging truth. It's never too late to rebuild these connections and restore your sexual health naturally. Your body is still capable of pleasure, healing, and positive change when you provide it with the right conditions and care. Think of your body like a classic, well-loved car. It may need a different driving style as it ages, but that doesn't make it less valuable or enjoyable. In many ways, the wisdom and experience you've gained make this phase of life more meaningful and sacred. Start implementing these changes gradually. Be gentler with your body, more conscious of your approach, and more connected to your physical and emotional experience. Relearn and rediscover your body's capacity for pleasure and health. Your best years aren't behind you. They're determined by how you choose to live and care for yourself moving forward. With wisdom, patience, and proper knowledge, you can maintain and even improve your sexual health well into your later decades. The corrections I've shared today are simple but powerful. They address the root causes rather than just managing symptoms, and they're based on solid understanding of how male sexual health functions optimally throughout the aging process. Remember, sexual health is an integral part of overall health and quality of life. You deserve to feel vital, connected, and satisfied regardless of your age. These 7 corrections can help you achieve and maintain that vitality naturally. If this comprehensive guide has given you new insights and practical tools for improving your sexual health, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more evidence-based men's health content, and share it with someone who could benefit from this information. Your sexual health and overall well-being are worth the effort to make these positive changes. Start today, be patient with the process, and trust in your body's remarkable capacity for healing and improvement. Until next time, this is Dr. James Whittaker reminding you that optimal sexual health is achievable at every age through knowledge, mindfulness, and proper self-care.